The art world is buzzing with word of a creative new force, a painter who many call a child prodigy.
She's a pint-sized Picasso with an eye for the unusual. Meet Alexandra Nechita. This 9-year-old from Norwalk has already made her mark in the art world.
This is an almost impossible story of a young woman who has risen to the top of the art world.
With a style that matches the peculiar form of Picasso and the bright colors of Matisse, this 5th-grade Norwalk, California prodigy is being compared by many art critics to the great masters.
It is the story of an artist who would have her first exhibit at the age of 8.
Just phenomenal. Pablo Picasso could have taken a few pointers.
It is the story of an artist who would become one of the world's most recognized artists by the age of 10. Her story takes on near fairy tale-like qualities and reminds us all that the American dream is still very much alive and well. It is the story of how this remarkable young woman is now using her art and fame to help affect positive change throughout the world through her global peace initiative. Not long after the Nechitas arrived in the United States, they began to notice their daughter's devotion to art.
It started when Alexandra was 2. Her parents, Romanian emigres, say she became obsessed with drawing and coloring books.
I started off at the age of 2 when I was working in coloring books a lot. And I was very isolated to that. And my parents had realized that I was working too much, too constant. And they had took my coloring books away and just had given me paper and see if I would draw. So I was drawing my own pictures and coloring them in. So from around then, for a parent, that was very, very shocking. Then around at the age 4 or 5, I was working in watercolors and pastels. Then at 6, 7, I started painting, and at 7, I had incorporated oils into my painting.
A modest art collector from the other side of this neighbourhood was out walking his dog one hot summer's evening. As he passed this house, he noticed in the driveway a little girl painting a huge canvas. The man couldn't believe what he saw and couldn't wait to tell an art dealer all about it. What was your reaction?
I just, was shocked. I thought maybe the parents had painted them. And
the art dealer was Ben Valenti.
In Southern California, a young Romanian immigrant is creating $1 million buzz among her admirers. She's an artist.
The artistic talents of our next guest have been compared to those of Picasso, Matisse, and Chagall. The big difference, she's 10.
Her artwork is great, and we're going to show you just...
As Alexandra neared her 16th birthday, 2 events would have a significant impact on her. First, she was named the Ambassador of Peace by the United Nations. As such, she was asked to lead a global initiative of spreading the message of peace to the world through her art. Secondly, she was profoundly affected by the events of September 11th.
September 11th was the first time that my generation was directly affected by such a tragedy, because everything we've heard up until now have been stories that we've heard from our grandparents and things we've read in history books. The fact that it hit so close to home was, in a sense, I think, a bit of a wake-up call, I guess. And for the first time, people my age were concerning themselves with bigger, greater issues and not being so selfish as to think of just our own problems and own situations and sort of accepting that while there are much more serious things going on in the world.
Approaching young womanhood, Alexandra began to redefine herself and the focus and purpose of her art. Incredibly, she found that she is just as gifted with sculptor's clay as she is with her paintbrushes. 2002 became an important year in the life of Alexandra Nechita. Just 17 years old, a new multi-million-dollar art and cultural center is named after her. She also begins work on the first of 7 massive bronze monuments entitled Let There Be Peace, a task that would take her most of the next 3 years to complete. In August 2005, Alexandra would journey to the other side of the world to launch her Global Peace Initiative by presenting the monument as her gift in the name of peace to the people of Asia.
works have been compared to Picasso's. And yet, the artist never laid eyes on any Picasso masterpiece when she first picked up the paintbrush. It is this child prodigy's natural mastery of art that has stunned the world. And she's now in Singapore to fulfill 1/7 of her Global Peace Initiative. Meet Alexandra Nechita, child prodigy, artistic genius, and the voice of peace. At first glance, Alexandra Nechita looks just like the regular American teen. She enjoys the down-to-earth pleasures in life. It seemed appropriate then, with her works reflecting peace and harmony, that Alexandra was named Ambassador of Peace and Goodwill by the UN. She was only 15 then.
It was just sort of this huge responsibility and title that sounded very nice. I think I was just very overwhelmed. I clearly remember being very honored. You know, clearly I'd done a lot of work with the UN, and peace as a theme was very reoccurring in my work. They took notice of that and acknowledged my voice in a sense. It's very challenging in a sense to live up to the title, because I am in a way speaking on behalf of people of my generation. I think I've just started on a lifelong journey and something that I'll really be promoting for as long as I'm able. I really would just like to help people appreciate and understand and open their eyes and really accept it as an alternative. On just a personal level, I just was able to sit in even more comfortably in that position and kind of be much more sure of my right as an artist and just as a person. And as far as how that fits into the monuments that I'm doing, I think I really took initiative and said, okay, well, there's been no better time. Now is the time for me to really do something. And it took 3 years to work on the first one, so it's nice to have it finished.
Alexandra decided to stand up for what she believed in the way she knows best. She launched a Global Peace Initiative using the natural talent that she has been nurturing since the age of 8.
Well, according to Nechita, Singapore is well known for its community of various races living in peace and harmony, which is what her whole body of work is about, the promotion, recognition of peace around the world.
She really had such a burning desire to make a difference in the world, a positive difference. She wanted to take on issues, even at the age of 9 or 10, of world peace. She wanted to work for charities and did tirelessly, and gosh, you just knew that she was someone special, and that if she would be given half a chance, that she could do wonderful things, and indeed that's been the case.
It's very curious because it's just something that I love doing, you know. There's really nothing more to it. It's something I look forward to doing. It's something I'm passionate about. It's really something I have a lot of fun with, and when other things fail me, when words fail me, when people fail me, I can turn to my canvas.
She also is even all the more determined to try to make the world a better place, to try to use her art in service to mankind rather just in service to itself. And that, of course, is the impetus behind her Global Peace Initiative.
Today, at 19, there is no doubt that Alexandra has a style in her paintings, drawings, and sculptures that is distinctive.
All over the world, art critics and patrons have been captivated by Alexandra Nechita's masterpieces. Alexandra has come a long way since she was first introduced to oil paints at the age of 6. Creating art has become more than a journey of self-discovery. As the old adage goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Through her paintings and sculpture, this United Nations Peace Ambassador has spoken out for the worthy cause of peace throughout the world. When all 7 monuments are unveiled, Alexandra Nechita will finally accomplish her first global peace initiative. When the last monument has finally been cast, 7 continents will be bound by a single common thread, one artist's vision of peace and harmony for the world.